to the third week of our Lenten campaign on the main theme of the Kenya we desire. In this third week, we are given the sub-theme or the subtitle of Youth, the Untapped Resources. And this week, we are given a story of a boy called Shupavu, who was born as a jovial child in Tayari village. He had loving parents and spent most of his childhood grazing his father's cattle and swimming in the local stream. Whenever he was not in school, he loved attending Mass at his local church and was nicknamed Bishop due to his long service as an altar boy. Upon finishing high school, Shupavu was admitted to one of the best universities in the city to study computer science. In high hopes and full of dreams, he boarded a bus to the capital for the first time, promising his family to return home better. He completed his studies at the top of his class and looked forward to changing the world with his newly acquired knowledge and skills. However, a year after graduation, Shupavu was still jobless. The small online business he had started collapsed after government moved to tax internet-based businesses. Back at home, his parents and siblings waited for him. The younger brother was about to join high school, while his sister had dropped out for lack of fees. The whole family relied on him as his father was now old and frail and unable to provide for the family. As hopelessness intensified, Shupavu stopped attending Mass as he dedicated more time to struggling to make a living for himself and the family. One day, while strolling on the city streets, he met Ovu, a former university classmate, driving a flashy vehicle in the company of a young, beautiful lady. Life seemed to be going well for Ovu, who had dropped out of university due to gambling, and Shupavu could not believe that despite his academic excellence, he was still struggling. Ovu invited him to his office, where he introduced Shupavu to what he termed as online forex merchandising. This, however, turned out to be illegal enterprise of conning people. Within a short time, Shupavu started making money and living large, spending time partying, drinking, and smoking. However, police raided the offices and arrested Shupavu and his team for engaging in cyber crime. Shupavu's parents' first visit to the city was to witness his release from prison after a 4-year jail term. He was emaciated, ragged, and withdrawn. He sought to reconnect with his church back home. He trained in agriculture and marketing through a church youth empowerment program, and within a short time established a website to link livestock farmers with markets in the city. He became a youth mentor in his community. The end of the story. The story that we have heard today is a story with very many young people. Joblessness leading to hopelessness, and eventually will either lead to crime or to drug abuse, and especially the ever increasing abuse of alcohol. Our young people are filled with dreams, which we as parents and a government are killing. A government that does not support its young people is a government seeking death and annihilation on itself. We have so many talented people, so many people with ideas, but when they implement the idea, as we have heard, the government is making policies that are actually crumbling the idea and the businesses the young people are starting. We remember last year, in June 25th, we had the famous Gen Z demonstration. The young people were asking the government not to give them jobs, but to give them a conducive environment. They said we are a resource that is not tapped. And when we seek to advance ourselves, you are overtaxing us. And we can't grow. We can't do nothing because we are overtaxed. And there was this famous thing that the young people are coming from a famous eatery carrying phones, smartphones, which were acting as their job, as their employer, as where they earn their living. And all they were asking the government is to take care of that resource that they use, the internet connectivity. Shupavu, like any other young person, went to the university and he was employed. He finished his graduation, he finished his education, graduated, but became unemployed. And when he became unemployed, they are easily prone to illegal activities like gambling. Today, most of the people are losing their money in gambling instead of investing that money. If you calculate the amount of money you waste in gambling per month, then per year is enough to start a small business. Like what Shupavu did. He started he did a course that was offered by the church, and then he started farming. Maybe he needed little capital to build himself. Again, the government must come in. If we go again and start taxing the people in their farms, where you have already taxed the appliances, the pesticide, the fertilizer we sell to them, it's already taxed with the VAT. And then again, when they start working, you want again to go and tax them from the farms. We are killing that resource. We are killing the resourcefulness of our young people, and we are sending them to an early death. In this story again, we are told that the family, which is the backbone of every economy and every country, relies first on the parent. Then later in life, the parents relies on the children. That's why after retirement, the government rehires people. And when we talk about hiring, we have always had this infamous thing of we want a 5-year experience. Where are they getting the experience? You are supposed to hire, train, and then promote. That's why we have promotion in job places. When you promote, then you hire again, and then people rise through the ranks. But if you keep on asking for experience, who is training this experience for you? This is what our today's story is saying. And it is based on what we talked about last week, corruption. If we are corrupt, we are leading the people who are supposed to be in jail are not in jail. But we jail those, I don't know, in philosophy we say the cause and effect. We are punishing the effect and leaving the cause to move on. So we have more young people in jail and who are petty crimes, and leave the massive, the big fish crime roaming around. This is how we are wasting our children. Let us finish it by saying, all children, as we are going to see in the next week about holistic education, all children are talented differently. And if we want to take care of the resources, we must take care of every child. The government must invest in our youth. The government must invest in knowing the resourcefulness of every child, where every child is judged by their resources. If they are artistic, if they follow what today in CBC we call the STEM, let their resources be tapped. Let us create a human capital, and let us not educate our children with every penny in this country and then send them to work for another country. We are not getting a return on investment. We are wasting our resources by giving them out and leaving our people to suffer when we can support them in research so that they can be resourceful in our own country. God bless you all.